Rumble's the same as YouTube.
Rumble is
Is it?
specifically for podcasts.
Is it not?
No.
I'm telling you,
but it
if
is.
you're out there and you know Rumble, tell me if I'm correct.
Rumble.com.
Rumble.com.
You'll find us there.
Yeah, find us there definitely for sure. Thank you, Grant. I appreciate it.
Anytime. I was
I need
confused
some
for a
help over
second,
here.
but now it's clear.
But make sure to find us, watch us, and listen to us live or on the replay every day, every week. Where you're going to have also, Thane will come out with a 5-minute short, 5-6 minute short of the show with some great bullet points later on this week. You can't wait to watch that as well. So, Grant Colton from East Side Auto Transport
Yep.
in Wallingford.
That's correct.
And thank you for being here today.
Anytime. Thank you for having me, first of all.
Absolutely.
This is a pretty cool thing, and I thank you both for having me there.
Absolutely, my friend. So, again, where are you from? Let's start with the whole background.
Yeah,
Where are
absolutely.
you from?
I'm from Wallingford, born and raised.
Nice.
Extremely exciting, right? You know, super exciting backstory.
Great town.
It's
Great
a
town.
Great
Great
town.
town. Low taxes,
Low
low
taxes.
electric.
And
Now
beautiful
I'm here.
homes.
Beautiful homes, yes.
Absolutely.
Do you live in Wallingford? No, not quite.
No, not quite. On the outskirts. No, I live in Wallingford, I do.
Beautiful. And I always like to ask some personal questions. Are you married?
I am married.
And what is your significant other's name?
Nancy. Yes.
Miss Nancy, I hope you're watching the show today. We are excited to have you be a part of this show.
Absolutely.
And you have any kids?
I do. I have 2 boys, Hudson and Jack. Hudson's 9, Jack's 6.
Wow, great names.
Yeah.
Hudson and Jack, Dad is a rock star, as you know. So excited to have him here. And don't be hesitating to reach out and ask questions to Dad as well here. Maybe something you want to ask Dad, you haven't had a chance to
Yeah.
ask yourself.
Well, they've asked it all, believe
Don't,
me.
yeah, don't come on and
They've,
ask for
they've
PS5.
literally,
because that's
please
what
do
it's
not
about.
call and ask me right now. Now is not the time.
It's a good time to ask for a raise on your, maybe your,
Your allowance? Yeah,
absolutely.
maybe not.
So who's the owner of East Side Auto Transport?
Sure. That's Ken Portuccio. I've known him for a very long time. And, I've had his back, he's had my back through the whole thing, and we just kind of do this thing together. It's
First
a great dynamic.
You all should know this is the GM of the company. This
Yeah.
guy here is basically the face of the whole company. And
Yeah.
Ken, I'm sure right now, if he's watching, is probably kvelling. You know what kvelling means?
I don't know what
it
that
means.
means.
That like he's probably
I
just
couldn't
got this
spell that.
great feeling about his body. Kvelling is a Yiddish word.
Oh, it is?
It's like one of those words like that
Okay.
you say like they feel like good
Yeah.
about themselves, so proud
Okay.
moment. You being here representing the company.
I would certainly hope so, and I
I
would
thought you
appreciate
spoke
that.
Yiddish, but
I honestly don't.
Okay.
You know, I missed that class, unfortunately. But
All right, so Ken is the owner of Eastside Auto Transport. Ken, we want to thank you so much for
Yes,
everything
thank
you're
you.
doing with this company. It's an amazing company. Your company, the service, the product, and the atmosphere is amazing.
Thank you.
By the way, Thane, I want to make sure they have the address of the company. Now, before you put the address out there,
yeah,
my question to you is, if somebody wants to get in touch with the company, do they
Yeah.
contact you directly?
They can
Or
contact
what's the
me.
phone number you want to have out
it's
there?
easy. They can contact me directly. They can contact my office line. They can contact my email, our general email box. What we pride ourselves on is that, as we grow and we get bigger, there's still only one phone number to call, right? And when you call that phone number, either I'll pick up or somebody within the office will pick up and we will help you. There's no extension 5. There's no extension 237. You'll call that number, we'll pick up, we'll say hello, and we'll help you.
Love it. So what's the phone number for the office
Sure.
first?
That number is 203
And
269.
I'm sorry.
No,
Thane's
go ahead.
getting this down over here.
Perfect.
203-269.
1539.
1539. Thane is throwing that up there. You have Grant Colton with East Side Auto Transport at, again, the number?
203 269 1539.
Now, if they need to get in touch with you directly, if they're allowed to call
Yeah,
your cell
absolutely.
phone.
They can call my cell phone
Now,
anytime.
now, how often does a GM offer his cell phone out? That's just amazing. So let's go right to the
Yeah,
source.
of course.
And the cell phone
It's
because-
203
Yeah.
213 2472. And don't feel funny calling. Everybody does.
Beautiful.
It never bothers me.
The first time. Okay.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
Dave, you should probably get into specifics about East Side Auto Transport because it could be just a tow service and it's not.
Yeah,
Correct.
this
They
is
were-
true.
Correct.
This is true. All right.
Correct.
So
Tell the folks what it's about.
let's get into East Side Auto Transport.
Yeah.
All right. So So what is your role? First of all, the company, talk about what the company does.
So yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. We transport vehicles, right? Anywhere you want to go, anywhere you want to be, we transport them. Our primary focus is the East Coast.
Yep.
So anywhere from Maine to Florida, anywhere in between, we can handle that. We can go elsewhere as well, but it's not too common. Our bread and butter is the East Coast. And like you said, what we do is we transport automobiles.
I got to meet this team of people. My son goes to school in Florida, as many of you guys know, and we need to transport our son's car. I don't want to drive for 24
It's a
hours.
lot.
Waste the gas, the tolls,
Tolls.
the mental,
Correct.
just stuck in traffic.
Correct.
Forget about it. Why take the pressure and put it in there? Take it off the
Right.
pressure.
Absolutely.
Get in an airline for $50. Get in a Velo or something. And fly down to Florida.
Exactly.
Have the car delivered to you, right? And you call this company up, and they take care of you like family. This is a family environment. The first time I walked in your place, by the way, I was so impressed by the atmosphere. Such a great, it's clean, it's beautiful, it's open space.
Right.
It's a great location.
Well, it's a family-run company, and that's how we like to treat everybody, whether it's our employees or our customers. We're all family, right? It's just the way we have to do things.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm all about the family. So, who are you and what's your role at the company?
So I'm Grant Colton. I am the
Yes.
GM of the company. I've been so since approximately 2015.
Wow.
But before that, I actually started with the company in 2004.
Wow.
So this is 19 years, going on 20. And I've watched the company grow from, a couple trucks here and there and doing some small things to what we are now, which has been a beautiful thing, honestly. And I've been very proud of it.
That's pretty amazing. So we know what Eastside Auto Transport is. Where is Eastside Auto Transport located?
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's in
Tongue
Wallingford,
twisted.
Connecticut. We're on 6 Research Parkway. For anybody familiar, we're across the street from the old Bristol Myers Squibb. We built this facility during COVID. It opened up during 2021. We were prior, in different locations in Wallingford, but we outgrew those pretty fast, and we keep on growing, so we need more space. So now we have an 8-acre facility in Wallingford, and we can handle whatever you guys need.
Is that space necessary for the fleet of vehicles that you have?
It is. So we have 40 vehicles currently.
Wow.
40 drivers, right? 40 big rigs. They hold 9 cars each. Everybody parks there on their off hours, but they're consistently on the road, so you won't see too many there at any one time. But that is a fact. You'll go there, you'll see 3 or 4 trucks, but trust me when I tell you, there's many, many more on the road, and they're constantly working. So it's pretty cool.
How did your company begin?
So it began with a performance shop, honestly.
No kidding.
So we used to be on Woodhouse Avenue in Wallingford, and the owner is big into racing and performance and horsepower and this and that. And when I started, I was in high school, and to me that was cool. And to me, still at 37, it's still cool. So
I would say so.
right. So that's how I found everybody, because my buddies worked there doing odd jobs, and I started hanging out with them, and everybody started getting along and this and that. And that's how it started. So when I started, we had 2 trucks and 1 flatbed, and since then we've grown to what we are now, which has been a pretty cool ride, honestly.
Not many people have heard about you and the company before.
Correct.
Why do you think so?
Honestly, primarily because since pre-COVID, we've been primarily B2B only. So we worked with just dealerships and auctions and OEMs and this and that only.
Well, that says a lot about your company to begin with, because if you have dealerships working for you,
Yeah.
you're holding the most important asset to these companies that they own, their
Right.
cars and vehicles,
Right.
transporting those vehicles. If you can do that for a dealership,
Right.
obviously working for the family,
Yeah.
working for
You
the
just
family,
answered one of my questions.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean to
That's
cross
okay.
out
No,
one of your
no,
numbers.
it's fine.
working for the families of
Yeah.
us is acceptable, and obviously you know how to do it very, very well.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely. So, I'm sorry not to intrude on
Not
your
at all.
questions, but
You're good.
yeah. So I mean, we've worked for just business to business stuff primarily. We've worked for companies like General Motors and BMW and Nissan USA and all these people. But since COVID, we've had to pivot just like everybody else, because as you've heard, the auto industry has been up in arms for the last few years, and
Ah.
supply and demand, and
Yeah, disaster.
microchips and all this
Yeah.
stuff. So we've had to diversify a little bit. So for the first time in many, many years, we've opened up to the private sector, and we try not to tackle anything unless we know that we can absolutely execute it. And that's where we are now, and that's how you found me.
So the dealer aspect, so,
Yeah.
so like if somebody's buying a car, let's say here in Connecticut,
Yes.
and they say, well, we don't have that model here, but we have one in Vermont, let's say.
Yeah.
You guys will go get it.
Absolutely,
That's
we'll
what
go get there.
That's what they
Oh,
got you.
wow.
Correct. Or if a dealership chain purchases from an auction. Because auctions are all over the country. I don't know if the general public's aware of that, but 90% of used cars come from auctions, whether they're lease returns or fleet vehicles
Right.
or even repossessions. They all go to an auction, the dealerships buy these vehicles, and then we pick them up and bring them to the dealerships, and that's where the used cars come from.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you got some dealers in Wallingford.
Oh, yeah, I mean, all of Route 5, honestly.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, think about, Route 5 and all of Connecticut. We kind of, work with every single one of them.
Now, you mentioned this before, but I'm just double checking. So how long you been in the industry?
So I've been here since 2004, so this will be my 19th year.
Wow.
And, yeah, every year it gets a little bit more interesting, right?
No kidding. Does anybody have any questions or statements out there on social media there, Thane? You sure?
But
Okay.
I thought things. Reaction there was,
Yeah, I-
perhaps there was a question out
You look on the screen, I was like, okay.
How about on TikTok?
there. Are we all on the screen?
There's over 9,000 people, by the way, on TikTok
Wow.
watching you right now.
That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
And they're
crazy.
all over the
Do we have
world.
filters on this? Is that
Uh,
why?
you know what is? Everybody looks younger and
Okay.
skinnier on the show.
Perfect.
Yeah, and
Perfect.
also when people are watching us, we look like
Yeah.
a good tan.
Oh,
And
excellent.
yeah, it's a really great
Excellent.
thing. I'd rather be on the outside looking in sometimes because you watch the show later
Really
and
cool.
you're like, wow, I lost all this weight.
Right,
You know what I mean? I
right.
got this nice color in my face.
Absolutely.
I must have been on vacation.
It's fine. It's fine.
Your wife's gonna
I
say,
don't
where
remember
were
any
you?
time.
Yeah, I was,
I don't remember any
I have the
time Dave
exotic-
looking at the show afterwards saying, I look really good.
We all have the exotic North Haven tan going on.
Exactly right.
Okay.
I know that Eric has a few questions for you over here.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't want to interrupt him on taking away from his questions.
Well, we haven't really gotten into, so you were talking about that, you've
Yeah.
gotten into more of the private sector.
Correct,
You know, and
correct.
people just, so I'd imagine, not to sound, picky-ish with this,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
snowbirds, probably.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Snowbirds, a lot of
That's
cars.
a huge
Say,
thing.
hey, I'm
for-
going down to Florida, I
Absolutely.
want my vet down there,
Exactly.
take it down for me, because I'm not driving my vet all the way down there.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a huge thing. And honestly, like you said, we haven't really focused on it before because we didn't have to, honestly. Right? But since COVID, things have changed. You have to pivot. You have to change your course of direction here. So we've opened up that market. And like I said before, we don't really take anything on unless we know we can absolutely execute it, which is different from a lot of different companies in this industry. So we have a we have something to show to everybody that we could do this. And we have for so many years. So we have a reputation to protect, and that's exactly what we do.
You really do. You definitely protect, and you definitely not only protect it, but more importantly, the communication process is so great here.
That's key.
I
That's
mean,
key.
because when you have your car being transferred, it's your first time, and you're
Right.
saying, "Oh my God, my car! It's on
Right.
a truck. Some guy picks it up. I don't know who this person is." And he gets on this truck, and you're like, "Where's my car?
Exactly.
When's it gonna arrive?" And you
Right.
have great communication, making your clients always feel amazing.
Absolutely. You got to think, like, outside of your house, your biggest investment other than your house and your family, of course, is your vehicles, right?
Yes.
That's the most expensive thing other than your house. So we offer a service to the general public.
And sometimes
Right.
you think about your vehicle more than your family.
Yeah,
Not
that-
me.
this is true.
Not me.
You're gonna-
No, not you, man.
Don't ask my family that question because they may answer it incorrectly, of course. But no, that's 100% true. So people value their vehicles, right? Whether it's, just being a car guy or just knowing what you like, right? So you hire us, we're a professional service just like anybody. You put your trust in us and we're going to execute. So say you were to hire a company to put a front door in. If that
Right.
door does not open up, you will not use them again,
That's a
correct?
fact.
Correct. So you
100%.
have to perform in order to succeed.
For sure. And it's all trucks?
It's all trucks.
It's all trucks, okay.
Yeah, it's all trucks. We hold 9 cars on each vehicle, on each truck.
You know, it's funny when I watch the vehicle go onto the truck. For the first time when you watch your car going on one of these trucks, you're like so nervous because they've got these cars that are so close together,
Right.
and it's almost like a science.
It really is.
It's really amazing to see them do this with your personal car.
Right.
Because if it's somebody else's car, you don't really care too much. But once it's your car, you're like, oh my God, is it gonna
yeah.
hit?
It's emotional, right?
It's emotional. It's totally emotional.
A very dramatic event.
It is
For Dave it is.
Yeah, I mean, for me as well.
Yeah.
In your defense, it would be for
my
it would be
son was a little bit nervous. Like I was like, Danny, don't worry about it. It's gonna be going on fine.
Right.
And you know, you see this guy. He's like, yeah, no problem. I got da boom boom. And he does his thing and boom boom, get in the car and
Yeah.
it's really cool. Very
Absolutely.
cool stuff. Eric, I know you had some questions about technology. I didn't want to jump
No.
in front of you.
No, so my next question would be, does the vehicle have to be running for you to take it down there?
It does. It does. So we have the ability to move non-running vehicles, but not far distances. So for non-running vehicles, we use a flatbed or a rollback, some people would call. But we typically do that within New England, just because the truck's smaller, it doesn't have a sleeping area for the driver, things and listen like that.
So if somebody from Florida bought a vehicle up here, but it wasn't currently running,
It
they
would-
were gonna
we
do
would
a
not-
project with it.
Correct.
You know?
We would not be the best company for that. There are
Okay.
companies that do that. I'll be honest with you, we are not the company for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has your company earned any kind of accolades in this industry?
We actually have. So there's this company called United Road Services, and they're the world's biggest automotive transportation company, honestly.
No kidding.
So for the years 2020 and 2022, we were voted their #1 carrier.
Wow.
Yeah, so we do a lot of work with a lot of different companies, big and small. We try to help out anybody in our area, and we've moved the most volume, damage-free for them within that certain year.
Damage
Right,
free is
right.
really important.
I mean,
Now,
it
damage
really
free
is.
is actually
It
huge.
sounds important.
It really is. So, I mean, we're talking numbers that are actually kind of hard to comprehend, but, I mean,
How
if you
many
think
vehicles are
about
we
it,
talking about?
we're talking about 100,000 plus annually.
Wow.
Yeah. So to be in that stratosphere with a company like United Road would be
Divide
is
that
a
by
big
nine.
thing.
Divide that by 9, because each 9 vehicle has 900,000 vehicles. That's a lot.
That's a lot of vehicles. Yeah,
That's wow.
that's a lot of vehicles.
It's a lot of running back
Right.
and
You
forth,
got to
running
think
around.
each VIN number, each vehicle is a VIN number, right? Each
Right.
VIN number is somebody who's waiting for that vehicle.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of
That's a
people.
lot of people.
Will my vehicle be insured during transport?
Absolutely would. Absolutely would. So our insurance covers every vehicle on the truck. But what I do say to every customer that calls is it does not cover the contents of the vehicle. So a lot of people, moving far distances like to pack their vehicles crammed full of things. I advise not to do so. A, because insurance does not cover the contents of the vehicle.
Right.
But B, because it's a safety hazard, honestly.
But does it also add weight to the vehicle?
It does add a lot of weight to the
So
vehicle.
your-
And we
your
get
vehicle
judged
is
on.
now, right.
Eric, shh.
Correct. No, it's fine, please. I'm glad that you know this. It actually makes me excited because a lot of the public does not know this.
Of course,
but
that's absolutely.
the more the vehicle weighs, the more it goes against us because
Right.
we're only allowed to take so much weight. And if we exceed that limit, we get pulled over, we get ticketed, we get put out of service, frankly.
No kidding.
So, and we can't do that. That's our reputation. We need to protect.
So no stone work.
No patio bricks, no Nico locks. I'm sorry, whoever's watching and wants to put a patio in Florida.
The clothes is
But-
fine.
Clothes,
Clothes
yes.
is fine.
So
Summer
what I-
clothes,
some
beach
clothes.
clothes, yeah.
So what I recommend to anybody looking to do long distance transport of this kind is to make sure all the contents are just in the trunk of the vehicle, out of eye line of the driver loading the vehicle back and forth, and out of the eye line of anybody looking at the vehicles loaded on the truck while our drivers are sleeping in a truck stop somewhere.
Right.
Um,
Smart.
Yeah.
Obviously, common sense.
Absolutely.
Safety makes a
Absolutely.
lot of sense. Got a lot of great questions here. And if again you guys have any questions out there, don't hesitate to ask. If you watch this show in the replay, what most of our people are doing, do not hesitate to remember to reach out to our friend over here.
I'd love to
because
answer that.
Grant is amazing. So let's make sure we have Grant's number again out there
Sure.
throughout the show.
Phone number is 203-213-2472.
Excellent. Make sure to remember that number. You should actually put it in your cell phone now. You're going to want to use Grant and his company to get your car transported from Connecticut to Florida. For
Yeah,
example,
I mean-
anywhere between.
Anywhere in between.
That's
We
amazing.
can handle it all.
Question.
Yes.
So what documentation do you need to provide, let's say, because like Dave could say, okay, I need this car to go down to Florida.
Yeah.
Let's say Dave doesn't necessarily own the vehicle.
Well, that's a
You know
great
what I'm saying?
question.
Ooh,
That's a great
question.
question. So, I mean, yeah, I would like to see who you are, your address, I would make you a bill of lading, which would display the vehicle information, the VIN number, all that good stuff. And then at that point, we can go over your registration. We'll take a copy of your registration, make sure you belong to that vehicle.
Okay.
You
So-
own that
so
vehicle.
the name of the owner on the registration
Correct.
should match
Correct.
the person
Well,
who's shipping it.
Absolutely, and if
Okay.
it doesn't, then we'll have conversations outside of that to see what the story is.
Right. With or
know,
without PD present.
If my radars go off, then at that point, we'll have further discussions, but yes.
Good
yes.
question.
Yeah.
That's an excellent question, actually. Nobody's ever asked me that before.
Really?
That's a great question.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's because I'm a criminal.
Now I know.
No, I'm not
Now I
true.
know.
That's actually funny.
Okay, scratch shipping the cars.
Yeah, right? Well, remember your face.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Hey Dylan, your dad means well. He's just kidding. He's not.
He's not
I
actually.
promised him a
criminal.
Porsche.
Duly noted, by the way.
Yeah.
He's watching.
Documentation needed.
Yeah,
okay?
right. Can I write a note on your paper? Do not give this man a
So
Porsche.
basically, you have to own the car. Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. You would have to own the vehicle.
Oh my gosh.
Or have a bill of sale showing that you bought the vehicle.
Question
And
for
then I
you.
have to be there for delivery as well, then, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
So you can't be
So
outside.
let's actually talk about delivery and drop off. And how
Yeah.
that works. So like for example, so I live in Cheshire.
Yep.
And you're, by the way, hiring Grant not once but for our second time now.
Yeah.
And the way I found Grant actually was through another person in town. His name is Tony. Actually, the family Tony and Marianne DiDimizio in Cheshire had talked so highly about you when their car got stuck in Florida and needed to ride back home to
Yeah.
Connecticut.
Yeah, I appreciate
That's how I actually found and met
Double D.
Grant over here and the company. What's
Double
that?
D.
Double D,
Double D.
absolutely.
Double
Yeah.
D.
Yeah, Didimizio is a double
Yeah.
D, that's the
Yeah.
nickname.
Yeah.
So, great people, and I want to appreciate that. So on the Cheshire Forum, they wrote this great thing. People were commenting, talking about, looking for a place, and
Yeah.
that's how I kind of found you,
Yeah.
which is pretty amazing.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Tony D.
Yeah, absolutely.
you.
So when you come to pick up the cars,
Yeah.
the guys are fantastic. Now, you picked up my son's car in Florida.
Yeah.
You brought it home in record time, by the way.
Thank you.
And I don't want to put that on there, out there for you, but it was amazing how fast your
Yeah.
company works with getting the cars back
How,
to.
how long did it take to get down to Florida?
Well, he actually brought it from Florida back
Florida.
to Connecticut.
Correct, yes.
I'm not sure if I should say how long it
No,
was
you
pretty-
can't. No, it's
It was
fine.
like 48 hours.
Yeah, I mean,
It was
Is
unbelievable.
that, is
fast.
that
Pretty
about
fast.
about the average?
That's about
40
the
hours?
average. I mean, 2 days is about the time it takes to go from Florida to here.
Yeah.
Now, the way we schedule our weeks, you happen to call it the correct right time,
It would just
right?
happen to
It was
work
like,
out
it worked
perfectly.
out perfectly.
Yeah.
But in terms of pickup to delivery,
3 days, 4 days, what's it?
48 hours.
48
I mean,
hours,
honestly,
right.
that's the timeline.
So we just booked him again in his company because Danny's going back to school. You're actually coming on Monday next week.
Yeah, we're coming out Monday. We're gonna pick it up.
Let me ask you a question because when you pick the car up, are you going to bring the big truck there and we're going to put the car on the?
No, we're actually when we're in New England, we're based out of Wallingford, obviously.
Yes.
When we're in New England, we come with smaller trucks, so a flatbed or a truck that holds 5 at a time, something along those lines, 3 at a time, 5 at a
Okay.
time. And we bring it back to our facility. We have an 8-acre facility in Wallingford, gated, fenced, security, lights, the whole gamut.
It really is.
License plate scanners, it's state of the
I
art.
tried pulling in the gate.
Yeah. I mean, you have to call us to get into the gate, which is a good thing.
It's a great
Because when you entrust us with your vehicle, we want to make sure it's secure.
Absolutely.
And it absolutely is. So you call us, we bring it to our facility, and the way we work a schedule personally is that we tend to pick up our vehicles that are going southbound on Fridays. That's just the way we work. We bring them back to our facility, we correlate everything together, and the driver leaves out Sunday evenings. And in turn, it comes down to Florida or the southeast between Monday and Tuesday night. And that's how we run our things. And
It's pretty
honestly,
amazing.
that's the timeline it takes. So.
It's fantastic because number one, fast, speedy service, clean atmosphere, great drivers, very personable. Your driver, I have it in my phone. I think his name is Roy. No. Nice kid.
Yeah.
I mean, like I forgot his name. He was so communicative with me.
Yeah.
Let me know he was on the way, when he was going to be there, where I
Right.
need to be meeting
Absolutely.
him. He made things super convenient for me. We had the car picked up at my son's school at Lynn University.
Yeah.
And because I wasn't sure where my parents were living, he's like, listen, whatever you need, wherever you want, I'll make it work. We'll find a great location for us. And he was amazing. And again, it's the first time working with somebody.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So like, you're sitting there and you're like, do I just drop the car off? Do I watch what's going on?
Right.
So like, your real gut is, okay, I want to watch the car get in
Right.
the vehicle.
Absolutely.
And then
I
you
would
wa-
do the same thing,
right,
by the way.
Right. So then you're watching. So then you feel awkward. Like, is this guy not trust me? No, we trust you. You're just, but you want to see
You
the
wanna
car
know.
get.
You
You
wanna
want to see
know.
get on the big rig. I'll
Right.
call it. What
You
do they
want
call that?
closure.
What's that rig
So
called?
it's a big rig. It is. It's a tractor trailer truck. It's a car hauler, whatever you want to refer to
Right.
it as. But
But was yours put on you're talking about when it was put on a flatbed or something?
No,
No.
from Florida, it was a big,
Yeah.
with the big rig with like the 9-car thing here. And then
Yeah.
you're like, well, where's my car gonna be? Because
Yeah.
obviously based on when you're dropping cars off, they probably have to move things around all the
they
time.
do.
Like,
They
you
do.
know.
So we try to load for deliveries. That always doesn't happen because size and height become an issue. when
Right.
loading, right. We have to meet a certain height, a certain weight over axle per vehicle.
Right.
It's
I didn't
it's-
know about that, but
It's
pretty cool
it's
stuff.
very scientific, so that's why like car haulers, it's a different breed than a truck driver, right?
Right.
So when you ask somebody if they're a truck driver, somebody might say, "Yeah, I'm a truck driver." Another person will say, "No, I'm a car hauler." It's a completely different
Yeah,
animal.
there's math involved.
There is a lot of math.
Yeah.
There's a lot of everything
I
involved.
never thought about that, but I will
Yeah.
tell you, when you watch the thing go, if your car's in the bottom and you see it comes down, like, oh shit, is this
Yeah,
gonna smash?
right?
Sorry, like,
Right.
no,
No,
is this gonna smash the car? I mean,
Yeah.
like, what's
When
gonna?
can you get fined?
Yeah.
It's all right, it's all good. So in the meantime,
I was just gonna say, Danny said, WTF, Dylan is getting a Porsche.
Anymore.
I'm gonna need to see that bill of
We need
sale,
some
sir.
paperwork.
It took less than a day.
it took less than a day. Yeah, it took less than a day.
We'll get it moved fast.
So
but
then
we need
there's,
to-
then there's restrictions on the vehicles that you can bring.
absolutely. there
So
is.
it's
So
like,
if
can
we
you fit a
bring,
Hummer on there?
we can,
Okay.
but we can't fit 9 Hummers on. there.
That's a good point.
Gotcha.
That is a very good point. So yeah, height is certainly a huge issue. We have to meet a certain height requirement, meet a certain weight requirement, and it needs to spread out evenly throughout the truck. So you could have, say, we could hold 80,000 pounds, but you have to say we can't have that over one section of the truck. It has to be spread evenly. So there's a lot of different nuances to this.
Science.
And
It
then what
really
cars
is.
go on top versus the bottom. I'm
Exactly
guessing.
what fits. Exactly.
So if somebody, but you know, you're gonna tell folks, like Dave might say, I want my car in the back,
Yeah.
because I don't want bugs and stuff hitting the front windshield
I
of
never
my
even thought
car.
about that. It's funny you say.
No, but it is, the people do say that.
I'm
People
sure.
do say that.
I'm sure.
Sometimes we cannot accommodate that.
Right.
And I'll be the first one to tell you that because
Your car's too heavy.
it has to
in
be
the back.
loaded a certain way.
Right.
Right.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
I just assumed no matter what, someone else out there.
Shannon said.
Shannon. Shannon St. Germain of Team Powerhouse, an amazing realtor, an amazing person. Go ahead, Shannon.
She said, wait, does that mean Teslas are a pain to haul?
Ooh,
It does
good
not mean they're a
question.
pain. It just means that we need to be mindful of what else we put on the truck. So electric vehicles do weigh a lot more than conventional vehicles.
Oh,
I don't know if the public knows that, but
I didn't know
yeah.
that.
So
I
I
did,
mean,
but-
weight is a huge issue for us. I mean, weight tickets. I mean, the DOT can put you out of service, which means they will make you pull over and unload whatever you have to unload to meet a certain weight to be legal to drive.
No kidding.
Right.
How often, how far
Great
apart are those
question,
weighing
Shannon.
stations?
What's that?
The weighing stations on the highways?
Yeah, I mean, pretty
How-
much
how
there's
often are-
multiples in each state.
Right.
So you have to make sure you're right through the whole route.
Every vehicle has to get pulled over to the weigh station, or
They
do they
don't-
just randomly
When
select
they're
vehicles?
open, you do.
Oh,
Yes.
Everybody
really?
does.
When they're
Okay.
open, you do.
Eric, do me a favor. Pull Shannon's number out. I'm gonna make sure that Shannon gets a shout out over here.
Yeah.
Shout.
That was a
girl.
great question. That
Great
was a
girl.
great
Great question.
But yes,
Phenomenal realtor.
electric vehicles, which is going to be the newest thing in our industry, as all things are shifting electric, they weigh a ton. Multiple tons.
Shannon St. Germain, Team Powerhouse, an amazing realtor. Make sure to reach out to her and ask her for your real estate needs. She is at 203-706-7463. I promise you won't be disappointed, Shannon St. Germain. Sorry, I had to jump in there with that.
It's fine.
Station
You gotta
identification.
get a plug in there.
You
Yes,
have to,
absolutely.
right?
Don't
Right.
forget today's sponsor.
Yeah, right?
Robert Revine's.
I like to thank Poland Spring for this drink.
Holy moly, we'll be giving out some free advertising.
Right? My
The only
God.
advertising I want to give out today is you.
Well, I
And
appreciate
your
it.
company
Thank you.
and Shannon,
and
of course.
Poland Spring.
And Team Powerhouse.
Team Powerhouse, yes. Thank you guys for having me, honestly.
Absolutely. So let's get some more questions for you before we.
Yeah, of
because I
course.
want to get through some of these some
Yeah.
great stuff over here. Do you offer short-term storage if I'm not home yet before my vehicle is being delivered?
Absolutely do. So we're based out of Connecticut, as you know. We're the next town over, Wallingford.
Yes.
Up here we do. Down in Florida we don't, or anywhere in between we don't, because we're not based out there. But
Sure.
where we are, absolutely. So you're moving a car from Florida or Georgia or North Carolina, South Carolina, up north. Our facility, we can handle any volume, honestly.
That's
we
really
have,
amazing.
We have inside storage, outside storage, whatever it needs. We're here to accommodate. We're a service industry. So
That's an amazing
Yeah.
Piece of the puzzle right there. If you
Yeah.
mentioned, you said, how long of a timeline can they keep their cars with you?
yeah, I mean,
Or is there like
within reason, right? I mean,
We'll
a
see you in
normal
6
amount of
months.
time. No, exactly. Not 6 months, but you know, if you're
A few days,
if
a
you
week,
need to
whatever
move
it
your
is.
vehicle or you need to meet a certain schedule, your vehicle needs to come here on day A,
Right.
right? You know, you can keep your vehicle with us inside or outside, wherever you prefer. And whenever your flight lands, you can come down and meet us, or we can deliver it to you. It's really no issue. That's what our space is designed for.
this is again, if you've never done this before, I don't think you realize how personal of a service this is to have and to experience. I'm sorry, Eric.
Well, I may have a question that dispels that a little
Oh,
bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
Dum dum dum.
So if I know somebody's flying from here to Florida, I can
Yes.
track them on
Yes.
Flight Tracker, right?
Yes.
Is there some sort of tracker that you can see where the vehicle is?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
what we have currently is we track every truck, every VIN number via GPS.
Oh wow.
So you can call me, I can tell you exactly where your vehicle
Oh, but they
is.
can't see it online.
They can't see it online. However,
That's a great question.
we do have our app people, we have independent people working on our application, our mobile apps, to a point where it should be released in the next month or so, honestly, to where you will get your personal login, to where you could sign up yourself for our Eastside Auto Transport app
Mhm.
and track your own vehicle in real time at any point throughout the day.
Do you
Yeah,
know
because
what-
it's gonna be on the truck, and you just got that.
Absolutely.
That
So
Apple-
you
that
track
Apple
the truck.
tracker thing there, whatever.
I was
Correct.
just thinking to myself, like, if you put an Apple AirTag or something like that, into a car,
Yeah, I mean, you could do that as well, personally.
I didn't think about it, just so you mentioned
Yeah,
that.
absolutely you could. You could certainly do that right now. But within a month, we'll be able to have the technology to provide you.
That's really cool. That's
yeah.
customer service.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is customer service.
Absolutely.
That is East Side Auto Transport. That's pretty amazing.
Thank
I
you.
love
I
it.
was gonna take the credit for suggesting that.
No, I mean,
That is all Eric.
It's already in the
Vasquez-
works.
Eric Vasquez, great realtor,
Yeah.
203-707-9077.
What's his email address?
His email is
Erik.vazquez@cbmoves.com.
New owner of a
Oh, my
Porsche
goodness.
right there.
Exactly. The
What, you
winner.
have one?
Not yet.
All right. What sets you apart? Well, I actually feel like I know the answer to this question, but what sets you apart from other competitors?
I mean, it's really customer service. So, I mean, I've always prided myself at that. We have one phone number, right? You call up any other company in the world, sure, there's an 800 number, but you have 7,000 extensions. You call 203-269-1539. Either I will pick up or somebody in the office will pick up and will help you immediately.
That is a fact. 100% fact. They always know their answer to the phones.
Right.
That's huge.
I mean, it's a big thing.
I could call Dave's number, Dave picks up.
That
Most
is a
of the
fact.
time.
Right,
That is a
Most of the time.
fact.
I mean,
Unless
right?
Drew has his phone, then Drew will answer.
And then you will not. But
I know people who have booked automated transportation online through brokers.
yes.
What are your thoughts on that, and what makes you different?
Well, I mean, brokers have their place in the industry. If anybody's unfamiliar with a broker, it's a big conglomerate company. You call them up, you give them the information, and they basically sell your information to other people.
Now, I knew the answer to this question, but I wanted to ask that question because I wanted you guys to hear it.
Yeah.
And that is kind of how I've done things in the past before
Right.
meeting you.
Right.
You basically call a random number, and it could be some company all over the country where they are. It's not as personal whatsoever at all.
No.
And you really don't know what's going on, and it's a very different kind of experience.
It is.
This is like the white glove service of auto transport.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we strive to provide. I mean, you call up a broker, like I said, you call them up, you give them information, and they can give that information to 1,000 different companies.
Yes.
And then somebody will call you back and say, yes, I could do this, I could do that, I could do it for this price, that price. But at the end of the day, you don't know who these people are,
Right.
right? You might get your vehicle, and some really bad chances you might not get your vehicle.
Or your vehicle might get damaged in the
Correct.
process, which I've experienced unfortunately, and then later on having the problems of dealing with that problem.
Right,
which
because you have to
was-
track down what company that actually was.
Yes.
Right.
This show is going longer than normal because
Okay.
you are so
It's a-
awesome.
Oh, well, I
It's a
appreciate that.
Fantastic topic.
Sorry about
Yeah.
that. I'm sorry,
No,
gentlemen.
no,
I'm sorry
no,
for
don't-
both of your wives.
No.
No.
And what happens is the people on the show, they start getting wonky with us and they
Yeah.
get crazy. But listen,
Yeah.
there are a lot of great questions.
Plus,
in
they're
here.
waiting for their giveaway of the tumbler.
The free
Ooh,
tumbler.
the free
Hold on
tumbler.
a second. I just want to get a couple more quick questions
Yeah, of
for
course.
you. Okay. Where do you see your company in 5 years?
I mean, basically where we're at now, just broader and more successful, just like anybody wants to be, right? So
Yeah.
we want to take more of our market share and we want to take more territory over and just continue what we're doing. Because like I said earlier in the podcast, is that we don't really take anything on unless we know we can absolutely execute it. Whereas other people, they'll just be like, give me everything you have, and if I fail, I fail. I don't want to do that.
Absolutely.
I want to know that we could be successful before we say yes.
So from Connecticut down,
Yes.
not
From
up.
Maine down.
From Maine.
From Maine
Correct.
to Florida.
From Fort
East
Kent,
Coast.
Maine, which is as far north as you could possibly get in
Canada. Almost
To-
Canada.
Wow.
Maine. To say, I would say Key West, but I typically don't want to go to Key West because
Miami.
that's a lot of logistics. Miami,
Okay.
anything in between, call me.
Pitbull, he might be interested.
Yeah,
He might
Mr.
be
Worldwide
Mr.
himself.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, so listen, everybody. I want to thank you all for watching such an amazing show, being a part of this show today. Grant,
Thank you.
You are a rock star.
Thank you. Thank you very much for
Absolutely.
having me.
Appreciate it.
I certainly appreciate
Man,
this.
You just, as much as you see this personality over here, he's the same personality when he's back in the job. And that's the atmosphere you got working for you and working with you and getting your car taken care of. You have somebody who cares, is passionate. He's a family guy.
Yeah.
It's a family business. It's something that you're going to experience at a very personal level, and you're going to have top-notch white glove service.
Yeah, I
And
mean-
transferring your most important vehicle, no matter what the value is, you know it's going to be well taken
If
care
not,
of.
what's the point, right?
Absolutely.
It's a service-driven industry, and that's what we provide.
Love it.
Service.
We go to
Thank
the,
you.
Absolutely, my friend. We go to the next part of our show where we give out a free tumbler. People get excited about this part over here. Now that's the new tumbler,
This is the new.
and they have them in a nice fluorescent pink
Ooh.
that is available as well. So you can have it pink or black. We could also come up with some other colors in the future, but these are the two colors we have. We have a wheel with a bunch of people's names on it. Every week we spin that wheel. Thane's going to hit the button. It's
Awesome.
going to spin around, and we're going to get a lucky winner.
Perfect.
And if anybody out there again wants to be a part of this wheel to win a free tumbler, you've got to let us know. You've got to send us a little text message on social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, please, and we will definitely get you a tumbler, a chance to win a tumbler. All right, Thane.
Make it
spin.
happen, Thane.
Huh.
Let's make the magic.
Oh, did we learn the winner right now?
Oh,
Yeah.
This
Live.
is riveting.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're gonna hear a wheel.
3,
Two.
2, 1.
2. 1.5.
Did we go?
One
did we
and
go
a quarter.
up during that?
So they're watching the wheel spin as this wheel is spinning.
This is amazing.
It's high tech, man.
This is.
We don't mess around.
I like this.
It's a pretty big wheel.
What are you guys doing next Tuesday?
Oh, actually, it's funny you mention that. Hold on.
God's Grace 01.
God's
God's
Grace
Grace.
01.
Congratulations,
What a
God's
great
Grace.
name.
That
God's
is a
Grace
great name.
01.
Instagram.
You get one of
Instagram.
these.
God's Grace 01. You're going to get a chance to win either the black or the pink. Just let us know what you want. Get in touch with us as soon as possible. We'll have that shipped right out to you. Now, you just asked a question.
Yeah. What are you guys doing next Tuesday?
Oh.
This has been great, by the way.
Next Tuesday actually is a huge guest coming.
Yeah.
And I say that
Well,
she's
huge in
in the sense
Profile.
of Cole Banker's profile.
And profile,
She is the
not- okay.
newest president of Coal Banker,
That's awesome.
and it's an amazing opportunity to meet with her. And you guys are gonna love her. And if you're out there and you're a realtor and you're watching this show, you're not gonna miss this show. If you not want to know more about Coal Banker, this is a show you don't want to miss. Technology, personal service. She's an amazing woman. And we're really lucky to have her come to spend time with us here on the show because she's got so many people she has to not only answer to but be a part of their lives.
That's awesome.
Thane, anything
We
else?
got Jeff, Paul, Mary.
Yeah.
He said Grant is the man.
Grant is the man.
Thank you, Jeff.
Jeff Palmieri.
Thank you, Jeff.
Awesome
I do know
stuff.
Jeff for a very long time.
Jeff Palmieri,
Thank
thank
you,
you so
Jeff.
much for being a part of the show. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to Grant. And you're right, he is the man.
Well, he's a very good employee of ours, so.
That's
He's a
fantastic.
great human.
You know what? It's people like Jeff
Yeah.
who help make this organization a very special place.
Absolutely.
Not only to work at, but to work with,
Right,
you know?
absolutely. I mean, it makes going to work normal.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you.
And thank you to your wife and your kids for allowing us to have this amazing man on the show tonight. We want to thank you so much.
Can you say that one more time?
I want to thank
All right.
you and your wife and your kids so much for being a part of this amazing show and having this amazing man be
Sure.
with us here tonight.
Thank you.
Now, I know that he's hungry and dinner will be ready on the table when you get home.
Of course.
And I'm excited for you because
Thank you.
you might have other guests showing up, by the way, for dinner tonight.
Well, come on over.
Won't be the
Come on over.
It won't be the
It won't
cops.
be the cops.
They'll just ship the car.
You don't have the
illegally.
Porsche yet. You don't have the Porsche yet.
But
It won't be the cops.
thank you, everybody, for watching
Thank
the
you.
show tonight. We're going to see you next week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Good stuff, buddy.
Guys,